Welcome back to the show, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Identifying Snakes on Facebook. You know the drill. I'll scroll through a couple groups. We'll look at some snake ID requests, and I'll kind of give you my breakdown of how I'm identifying the snakes. So yes, please check out the snake identification group on Facebook, and I will leave a link to that group down in the description. JC posted from Charleston, South Carolina. She did have a snake in her house, and she seemed a little bit freaked out by that, which is understandable if you don't like snakes. But let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Right off the bat, I notice as this snake has kind of a pale yellowish brownish background with darker stripes that run down the length of the body. The head seems to be pretty much unmarked, just a pale yellowish brownish color. The markings are clean. There doesn't seem to be any other markings other than the stripes. So yellowish brown background with darker stripes that run down the length of the body. Kind of a squared off snout. And of course, location helps. All of these features in combination indicate to me that this is a rat snake, what they would call now an eastern rat snake, or a yellow rat snake, non-venomous. Cheryl posted from Waynesville, Georgia, found in the enclosed garage. First thing I'm drawn to is that head, and you can see the top of the head has kind of a flat top appearance. There's a dark mask on the side of the head there. Then when we look at the body, there's irregular banding with jagged or pixelated borders. And in this particular photo, you can make out the roughness of those scales. So we have rough or keeled scales, irregular banding with jagged edges, flat top head, mask through the eye, and then those markings on the nose and the mouth, those also help. So all those features in combination help us determine that this is a cottonmouth, a venomous cottonmouth. I posted this one from Louisiana, and here's a great example of a cottonmouth that has no visible markings. Now this cottonmouth may be just very dark, which some specimens are very dark. It may be covered in dried mud. It looks like it's probably covered in dried mud, obscuring any markings. But when we look at that head, we can see, just like in the previous cottonmouth, that kind of flat top appearance to the head, that kind of angular appearance to the head, and that large scale over the eye. That really helps us indicate that the snake is at least a pit viper. Elena posts from Clyde, North Carolina. This little fella is about 12 inches long. He was sunbathing on our driveway. So a grayish background with brick red saddle markings that don't completely encircle the snake. You can see that there are saddle markings. They don't go all the way around. And then there's some smaller circular markings near the belly, also brick red. When we look at the head, first of all, you can see those eyes pretty clearly. There's no large overhanging scale. This is not a venomous snake. Copperheads have more irregular banding. So the features in combination: grayish background, brick red saddle markings, eyes clearly visible with a V-shaped or Y-shaped marking on the back of the head. All of these features indicate the ID to me of an eastern milksnake, non-venomous, preys on a variety of prey, including other snakes, rodents, and depending on habitat and location, probably small lizards as well. So we'll do one more. Brian Carlo posted this one, Jacksonville, Florida. Let's take a closer look. Okay, we got a plain brown snake. No markings. The head's a little bit darker, and then the snake has a wide white collar from behind the eyes. And the location of Florida, and now in Florida, this can only really be one snake. Plain brown with a slightly darker head and a large white collar from behind the eyes makes this a Florida brown snake, non-venomous, and very similar to the DeKay's brown snake. At one time they were considered the same species. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing my video. And please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, please join us on Facebook in the groups that are linked below in the video description. And have a great day.